Swamiji, being at young age, you have gone through various deep sadhana. But can you explain a little bit your experience of this?
All right.
Thank you.
I had the fortune of sitting at the feet of Ramana Maharshi's disciples. You must have heard of Ramana Maharshi, a great master who lived in Arunachala. There is a place called Thiruvannamalai, maybe 5-6 hours drive from here. 5 or 6 hours drive from here. That's my native place. I'm born and brought up in that Arunachala. Usually in India, Swamis don't tell their native place or don't feel proud about it. But in my case, it is not geographical connection. I have a deep spiritual connection with Arunachala. So, I am proud of that place and I always feel connected and I have a deep respect for that place. It's one of the very powerful spiritual energy center and world's biggest Shiva temple. Something like a 27-acre built-up area in granite and a huge tower, 220 feet or something. World's biggest Shiva temple is there. World's biggest Vishnu temple is in Srirangam. Biggest Shiva temple is there. I had the fortune of sitting at the feet of the Ramana Maharshi's disciples on Annamalai Swamigal. Maybe some of you would have seen him also. A great soul who left the body only 95, 12 years ago. He was, I can say that around the age of 10, I started visiting him. It's like not any spiritual reason or anything, just my parents will take me. In India, you know that parents will force the kids to go with them when they go to these temples or to meet Swamis. One nice thing with that Swami is he will always give candy, so he'll give some sweets. So I'll never miss when I know that they are going to meet this Swami. I'll go there and sit with him. Many times he will give candy and maybe because of candy, I felt very connected to him. Not anything else, just you don't need to do anything and you can just sit and you don't understand also what he talks. It's good in a way. You are not disturbed. You can mind your business and the end you will have candy. So, one day, somehow, I don't know whether fortunately or unfortunately, I was drawn to what he was talking. He was talking something like we are not body, we don't have suffering, we are beyond pain. These kind of words. I was not only I was not convinced, I was not able to understand. How can he say that we don't have pain? If my mother beats me, I have pain. In Indian villages, you know, the parents will kick the kids if they do something wrong. Anyhow, I went to the home and continuously contemplating on this word. He's saying that I don't have pain and we don't have pain, we are beyond suffering and we are Atma and all those things. I was not able to brush him aside also because I somehow felt he is a very honest person. He is a very truthful person. He is not the person to tell lies. Maybe because of candy, I don't know. That relationship is developed. Because of that relationship, I was not able to just reject him, completely throw him away. I was continuously contemplating, then took a knife from the kitchen and cut my thigh to see whether I have pain or not. Still the mark is there. Of course, not only I had pain, my mother gave me few puja and took me to the hospital nearby and they did first aid and whatever they need to do. Something like 13 stitches they made, such as deep cut. 13 stitches they put on. Anyhow, I became alright in maybe 10 or 15 days. I became alright and I went to him again and asked him, what is this? What have you taught me? You told we don't have pain, we don't have suffering. And still I remember he was repeating some Gita sloka, Nayanam Chindanti Sastrani Nayanam Tagati Pavaka. What is that? See, this Arjuna, this guy is intelligent. When he heard all this truth, he killed others and verified, not himself. But in my case, I went and cut myself. That's where the problem started. Anyhow, I went and asked him, what is this? What have you taught? You did like this? And I am having pain and suffering. My mother was shouting at me. He said a beautiful word, still I remember. His eyes became very compassionate and soft. And he said, my son, don't bother. Just look inside and see from where the pain idea is coming into your being. See, now I am using a very logical words to you. He was not using this many words. In Tamil he said, Tamil is my mother tongue. In that language he said, Vali yarukunu parra. He told me, who is having pain? Look inside. Please understand. I tell you honestly, I am a 10-year-old boy. I can't understand the Vedanta or philosophy. I can say, honestly, he initiated me. With that word, he initiated me into that method of enquiring or going into the truth. Now I know all these big words. It's a self-enquiry, great Vedanta Vichara and all these words. To tell you honestly, at that time, fortunately, I did not have an intellectual stuff. Otherwise, I would have idea, oh, it is a big thing, I cannot do. Fortunately, I did not have all that intellectual background. Because of that, I was very simple, relating very simple way with him. And he told me, who is having pain? Look inside. Anyhow, I told him, all right, I'll look inside. Even then, I was not convinced. I was asking him, okay, you could have told me about this meditation before I cut myself. Why did you make me cut myself? Then you are teaching all these things. He told very beautifully. That word still I remember. It's a very strong word. My son, don't bother about this pain. Your spirit to experiment with the truth is much more valuable than this pain. Forget about it. Keep that spirit alive. You will never have any pain. It was a very strong word from him. Keep the spirit of experimenting with the truth alive. Keep the spirit of playing with the truth. Maybe I can say the word which he uttered was initiation. Means like initiating me into the technique, into the truth. The second word which he uttered is giving courage and confidence to travel in that path. To travel in that path, to continue the journey, to do my tapas. That was the first and very strong inspiration. And I was playing with the technique. Whenever I find time, I'll sit and see that from where the pain is coming. Sometimes it will feel like the pain is in that area, same area where I had the pain, where I had the cut. Sometimes suddenly I'll feel the pain is coming from some other area. Somewhere else I'm remembering the idea of pain. So it was just a play for a few days. That technique or the method. One day evening, I was sitting at the foothills of Arunachala and trying to play same way with this technique. It was not a serious meditation or tapas or anything. It was just a playful remembrance or trying to see from where that idea that I am suffering or I have pain is coming. I was trying to find the source, and by the grace of Arunachala or by the grace of the Annavali Swami, the Guru Krupa and the Daiva Krupa, some strong experience happened, something opened up inside. I was sitting with closed eyes, but the opening was so strong, I was able to literally see whatever was there around me 360 degree. Of course, it It's a very mystical experience. If you are not able to logically accept, please forgive me. Forgive me for intruding into your logic. But what I am saying is honest truth. As it happened, whoever can catch. Complete 360 degree, this side and this side. All the direction I was able to clearly see at a time. Not only I was able to see, it's like that hill which is in front of me, that temple which was on the side, and the trees, plants, rocks which was around, and the sky, and the ground, the whole thing. Not only I was able to see, to tell you more clearly, I was able to just feel everything is my very being, I can say. See, now usually people feel that they are alive inside their skin. How you feel alive inside their skin, that same depth of life I was able to feel in the pillow and the plant and the flower or the mic, whatever is in front, whatever is around. How you feel you are living inside your skin, inside your boundary, the same depth of intense life, or feeling I exist, I am alive, happened with the whole surrounding, whatever was there in the 360 degree. It was a very strong experience, very strong feeling. Maybe I can say some 2.5 hours or 3 hours I was there without moving the body. Then slowly I was able to move the body, and the moment I came down, around 2.5 days or 3 days, like a bliss fever. It was like a fever with intense bliss. It was not suffering fever, bliss fever. Feeling like I have to go to that place again and again, the place where I had experience. One side it is pulling, the other side, because of this newness or something unknown, the fear was also there. It's like if a young boy falls in love, one side he will have a deep pull to meet that person. The other side, because it is an unknown dimension, he himself never experienced, he can feel for somebody so deeply. It's an unknown dimension opening up. That will naturally create a deep fear. How can I open up so much? How can I be open so much? How can I be pulled so much beyond my logic? That fear was also there. I don't know what happened. By and by, within a few weeks, that fear to go and be in that state again and again has disappeared. And after that, never the feeling to come out of the state came. Never the feeling of boredom from that state happened. Never. Moving out, maybe I can say, it became like an undercurrent of all the activities, and inspired, created more and more energy and intensity to continue the journey. Maybe different meditation techniques, different practices, different tapas, different things. I don't know why all this has happened and all those things. To tell you honestly, there was only one thing I can say. After that, there was no suffering. Even during tapas or penance, there was no suffering. It was a pure joy. People ask me, 9 years I lived wandering, begging and eating, sleeping under the trees. 9 years I spent, maybe 10,000 kilometers I would have walked. And 2-3 years I spent in the organizations, like different organizations, Ramakrishna Mission and many other organizations, spiritual organizations. So during my wandering, people ask me, Swamiji, it would have been a great suffering, or how did you live? It's very difficult. My life was a joy. It was just an ecstasy. Every day you have something more interesting, exciting, new things. In the inner world and in the outer world, it's a great exploration. So after that first experience, there was no suffering. Whatever I did, whatever I lived, from others' view, it may be looking like a suffering or penance or tapas or meditation. From my point of view, it was nothing but a simple exploration, a simple joy or simple expression. Now sometimes I sit and read the book. It's not that I am suffering. I am just exploring. Same way, all my tapas, all my meditation, everything was just exploration. It was not suffering. It was not painful at all.